The strongest do not fear the elements. They embrace them. Midway through the week, we are beginning to see who is rising above the field and taking advantage of what the course has to offer. But the challenges of nature never stop, and to flourish requires thriving through the chaos. Round 3 of the 2024 PDGA Professional Disc Golf World Championship marches on now.
Hello and welcome to round 3 coverage from the 2024 PDGA Pro World Championships in Lynchburg, Virginia. You're watching JomezPro and you're listening to BigSexy commentary, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling.
That's right, Big N. Average N. Average N and Big J here bringing you round 3 coverage. And we have a fantastic weather again. And I've just been tickled to death by this. This has been a fantastic week. The weather has been cooperating once again. Scores are going to be good. I mean, that's just what we're going to see. Round 1, Isaac Robinson on this course here in New London shot a bogey-free 11 under. It's just really kept him in front the whole way. Adam Hammes, hot round yesterday at Ivy. Only player to get into the double digits, shooting a 10 under. That got him up to second place. In a tie with this man right here, who is, again, we mentioned it yesterday, we'll say it again, peaking at the right time. Joseph Anderson, aka Joey Buckets, just been very consistent, just a few bogeys. It's the only thing that's really keeping him back from Isaac right now. And Simon Lizotte had a great round yesterday, very solid event. Every time we checked in with him, he was making a putt from about 40 feet, and it felt like he was just placing it in the basket. When his putt is on, man, he is a fun player to watch.
Back into the woods in New London, starting here on hole 1, 395 downhill. A little bit of slope down to the right side. I think that backhand mid-range is probably the best play, trying to slide it forward with something a little bit flippy where you throw a lot of hyzer on it and let it kind of stand up through the flight.
Isaac hasn't really shown any nerves trying to defend his title from last year, winning the World Championships in Vermont. See if he continues that same confidence and swagger into the third round. And right off the bat, that is a dart. That is absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, let's get right to a follow
Oh
flight.
my
I mean,
goodness.
It deserves it.
Oh my goodness.
It impresses me how much it just looks, how simple it's made to look. Obviously, it's a fairly wide gap.
Unbelievable.
But he's just, it's so, the intention on it is just so perfect, and it's just never near any kind of hazard. The weight is perfect. The skip is perfect.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that disc hit within 6 inches of his intended spot. That was just beautiful. I'm going to try to match that. Man, that was so close to working. Initially out of the hand, it didn't look that great, but it was working until it caught that last tree.
New favorite bucket? I mean,
2 days in a row?
that's cool.
Matching it with the shorts. He's got a lot of things going on in this outfit. I'm expecting a good round from Joey Buckets today. This is going to need some backdoor help. There will be a putt just outside the circle. And worth mentioning, because I think I should mention it every time this is the case, I have not seen coverage. I haven't looked at scores today, so I am going into this round completely blind, and I'm really excited, as I'm sure you all are at home.
There's that little bit of anti-skip. It's going to be well short, though.
Just Isaac in a class of his own with this tee shot. That was just beautiful. What a great start this would be if Simon were able to knock down this 45-footer. Those trees on the right side of the basket kind of forcing the issue, making him keep it straight on line, not giving him room to swing it out wide. And right off the bat, going to get that lead widened a bit for Isaac.
As if it wasn't already a little bit wide. I think these guys got to be careful. You have to keep applying pressure, certainly. Even though we haven't visibly seen the nerves, I'm sure that Isaac is feeling the pressure of the moment and how important it would be to him to try to defend. Don't want to let him start building a lead that's so big that he can just be kind of having a walk in the park.
It's worth mentioning, this is the course that we only play twice. Ivy Hill is where the most strokes are going to be gained and lost at this World Championships. Whatever happens here, we're going to have 2 more rounds at Ivy Hill following. 4-shot lead now. Heading into hole 2. 977 feet, man. It is a narrow fairway to try to keep a big distance drive or some sort of fairway driver in this grassy area just to set yourself up for another near 500-foot shot. And missing this tree in the middle and the manhole covers in the fairway, it is a daunting task to try to birdie this hole. Most players are going to just try to find a way to play for par. Isaac is one of the few players who did birdie this round 1, though.
That little flip at the top of the flight.
That is just fantastic. That's
the best drive I think I've seen.
Fantastic.
And see, this one is kind of just more purely a little bit of hyzer the whole way.
It doesn't have a chance to stay in the fairway. You have to get that tiny bit of flip up, and it's got to push the right side, still staying right, just in order to stay in the fairway. Such a hard thing to do. This is looking like it's going to try, though. This is really nice. That being said, still left. I think that's a perfect illustration on how unbelievably good Isaac's drive was.
How subtle the difference is.
Once again, a class of his own on these 4 drives.
And all the shots have been pretty good, other than maybe Adam.
Totally.
Adam took the kick right on hole 1, but the difference between good and perfect on display here.
I like this shot for Joey. It's going to find its way to the right side woods, but it's impossible almost not to. He got that thing turning left most of the flight, and that last bit of skip's going to bring it back into the big woods. I do think he should be able to scramble from there.
This needs to sit. And it kind of did.
Yeah, that tree at the end, I think, kept Adam back in the fairway, but it might be a tricky stance with the backhand on his 3rd.
Doesn't look like even close to enough turn. That's just straight across the fairway.
That is looking like a bogey at best coming for Simon.
Little bit left.
Oh my
But
gosh.
fantastic.
Oh my
Just rolls away
goodness.
on him a little bit, but beyond the pin,
Oh my goodness.
looking at another birdie chance.
Watch out. It's a really good shot to get into circle's edge from back there for Adam. He'll have a look for the par.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Simon. Oof. Fortunately, they have taken away the out of bounds on this right side, which used to be in play recently. That is a great scramble just to get into deep C2. Main thing Joey's got to worry about here is that one little evergreen that's in the way. He misses that nicely.
He found a nice spot over there with the forehand. Really not that thick of rough.
Mm-hmm.
Well played.
Simon for the improbable par. Good height. Just a bit wide right. Isaac to go back-to-back birdies on this hole. Oh. Oh, wow. That's all the way back to C1 edge.
Great putt from Adam.
A rare misstep for Isaac on the putting green.
Wow, 2 left in a row, and that's the first bogey of the event, is it not?
Whoa, it is for Isaac. My goodness, who would have thought with those 2 shots on...
Whoa.
Adam's going to walk away with the only par of the group. Which it's worth noting, it's a good score on the hole. It's a really good score on the hole.
Absolutely.
And bogey's not that bad. I mean, it's averaging 4.52, but it's really bad when you're putting past the pin in 2 for the birdie. Really surprising result there for Isaac. And the field just, they're loving that.
Yeah, that's if you I can't believe that's how the first bogey happened. You know, these 2 days, and after just basically 2 perfect shots, the putt just kind of left him there for a moment.
Surprising. And that goes in. He's at 21 with a 5-shot lead. However, not the case. He's only got a 3-shot lead currently over Calvin.
Hole 3, 385. Turnover mid-range, most likely play here. Forehand is also an option. One of the more gettable holes at New London.
Very wide for Adam, and look at that thing turning back in, and it's gonna continue turning right with the left to right slope. That's a very well thrown drive. Actually, less players birdied this one than hole 1, which I think is a little surprising.
I agree.
A little bit more fairway to work with on this hole, just a bit shorter as well. Isaac coming up short, a little bit too overturned.
Joey doesn't like this. Heavy on the turn, big kick across the fairway.
It's all safe up there. Wow. Very early release for Simon. Doesn't hit any tree and will actually be rewarded with another lengthy birdie look. Jeff Brick on the bag. Jeff Brick is a professional caddy at Augusta National. First time I ever saw Jeff Brick was at the 2007 USDGC caddying for the great Ken Climo. Simon going to be left and short. Starting off somewhat similar to the way he started round 1, just a little bit off. And Isaac off on the putt once again here on hole 3. And Adam, what on earth?
I'm kind of with him here on the Jomez. I thought that was down.
Oh, boy. Wasn't the best looking putt, but once it got over that rim, you're certain it's going to fall. Not to the ground, in the basket. Unfortunate result. So only one birdie for the group through the first 3 holes. Not the start that we were expecting from this group.
Yeah, I don't think you could have these 4 guys line up on this particular hole very many times and none of them come away with a birdie. 380, not a lot in the way.
Surprising to say the least.
Pretty shocking.
Okay.
Calvin getting aggressive here on the tee of 5.
And if you don't get that right, that angle, that distance, he could very easily catch edge on that hillside and roll downhill OB, but Calvin's too good for that.
Well, you're rewarded. He's so high up the hill here. The second shot, a little bit shorter. He's done great with the forehand.
Yeah, but does he make the putt?
We'll never know. And back to our featured group. Wait a minute.
Well, hold on a second.
Looks like he does. Great birdie.
And a good start for Calvin. I mean, nearly perfect with the par on 2, birdies on the rest. 4 through 5, loving life with that start, that's for sure. And he's going to be climbing up the leaderboard, just 2 back of Isaac right now.
My Zuka car is most helpful because it allows me to carry a massive amount of discs. My backups have backups, and I can fit all of that in my cart.
The putter pouch, that's definitely my favorite feature. Slick, holds everything that I need in there.
The room and the things that I can carry on the course in the Zuka fits me perfectly.
I'm not the tall person right here. I like the handle. It can be up and down. That's my point right there. All I have to do is just thinking about what I'm gonna birdie.
Hole 4, par 3, 286 feet blind uphill. Flex forehand is your best option here, I think, although I believe Isaac just based it with a backhand turnover, so that's certainly possible as well. You see how it kind of works right late, a couple guardian trees, a couple interesting little sloped areas up near the green. But if you have an overstable fairway driver and you trust your forehand, it's a great option here to just put it on a little anhyzer and let it work back.
Just needs to hold that turn a bit more. Honestly, a little surprised that Adam's not going with his zone from this range. I know it's uphill, but he's so good from inside 350 with that thing.
Yeah, I think he certainly could.
And Isaac, once again, just shaping shots like no one you've ever seen before. He's going to have a look from inside 25. This is looking like it's the one if it misses the ones at the front.
Oh, yeah. Nice shot there. Perfectly through the gap. Oh, way too much anhyzer.
Whoa. An early kick right, too. It's going to be scramble city for Simon. Well, I thought at first he loved it, but then he looked like he didn't like it. Yeah, it's work to do. Wow.
Fantastic effort.
So hard to continue that carry on the anhyzer line. Adam's such a good putter. All right, good work. And that's very well done. Now we're getting some birdies. Isaac looks like he might have a slightly obstructed putt. Nah, not too bad.
Well done there. 2 birdies, 2 pars for the group.
And this hole was aced again, folks. It was aced by a man you're listening to
right now.
There you go. I was like, come on, Nate, say something.
I was able to get an ace. It was cool. I didn't hear any chains, just kind of threw my Firebird. Second year in a row I've hit a world's ace with my Firebird. So
that's awesome, man.
Fun memory.
Well, hole 5, we saw how Calvin played it. big backhand tee shots in play, but you really just want to find something to land soft on that side slope to give yourself a shot over this out of bounds area through the guardian trees to this basket that's pretty well protected on all sides. But you can see here with the drone flight that there is a pretty open passage on that right side. However, I do believe the preferred route for most players coming into this green will be the forehand. Isaac laying down the roller. There it is. Working its way back up the hill. Good shot. Not as far as I think he'd like, but he should be able to work something from there.
Pretty close to ideal for a forehand drive. A little bit of drift to the left. Landing basically flat, not much rollaway risk.
Adam's got so much power and speed with that hyzer release.
Here is
Come
the
on.
problem if you don't land it
No.
flat, though.
And he's going to pay the price. Maybe. Oh, boy. The very end. Wow. How often does that happen? It rolls all the way to the bottom of the hill almost. I mean, once it starts going, you definitely don't expect it to stop.
Certainly.
And that's why I think the forehand flex play in this hole is just a bit safer, but Simon is going to get the roll because just landed with too much angle, but you can kind of soften that blow a little bit with the Anheuser out of the hand. Oh, this isn't even that close to the line at all.
Just connects with a tree. You can see the disc about 60, 70 short.
Yeah, it looks like
on
it's
that left side.
just barely in bounds. Simon from about 360, 370, something like that. This needs to start moving right now. Okay. Outside C1 barely, I believe. Camera's playing peekaboo right now with the disc. I underestimated Isaac's drive. That was actually pretty good for distance, but finding one of those enemy trees at the front. So this will certainly be the slowest start we've seen from Isaac. Not that it's a bad start by any means. Under par is always good at this course, but he has been starting off each round with fire. It's looking a lot like round one right now for Simon. But that would be a good thing for him if he continues that trend, because he was just destroying the back nine once he's got things going.
It's a bit of a slow start for the group.
I would agree. Yeah, only 3 birdies for the group combined. 0 for Simon, 0 for Adam. And there have been 20 chances for the 4 players through 5 holes. And now's not a good time to get things going into the toughest hole.
Yeah, you'd like to have a little cushion, ideally, because it's a lot of bogeys waiting for you generally at the end of this twisting fairway. 1,215 feet. You'd like to swing it around the corner with some speed, potentially skip a little to the left, making the second shot just a little shorter because that's really the most difficult shot of the hole. It's asking you to do probably 475 full S down that tight fairway. Remember that right side OB the entire way. And then you have this grass area, this unmowed area that's OB, making you make a decision on that final crossing shot.
They don't get better than that. Like, you're not going to see a longer drive on this hole because you really can't shape one longer than that. I was going to say that I think that may have been a good thing.
I was worried it was going to kick right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's not a good drive, but...
Oh, whoa.
Is this too far?
Just go up there and hug that tree. He's in great position now.
Wow, around the right side.
Certainly not feeling it right now. You know, there's just not the birdie energy is not flowing through this card.
This might be short. It is.
Yeah. But I mean, a 6 is going to be a good score from there. A 5 would be incredible for Simon now.
I think even for Joey.
5
would be amazing.
5 would be incredible. Now 5 is not possible.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you could put any player there in the world, give them 100 chances, and no one takes a 5 from where...
Obviously, just throw-ins would get it done.
Yeah.
You're not getting there and making a putt.
Correct. And Simon's going to need a really big, perfectly thrown third shot to give himself any chance to save the par.
Oh, man, another late release. Avoids OB again. I mean,
what's going on?
That's a big kick, but he could so easily be OB twice already.
I think back to round 1 when Anthony Barella threw 2 shots that should not have been in bounds and ended up getting the birdie on the hole. Oh, no. Early left.
Gonna have to go to the forehand.
You got to think, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think he's far enough down there. Probably can just pitch a pretty simple one around the corner. Play for that par, which it looks like par is going to take some strokes from the group right now, as that just barely stays in for Joey.
You'd like to be past that manhole cover in 2. And now Joe's there after 3. I think there's a lot to like here for Simon's shot. Yeah, that's great. A+ effort.
Pretty simple shot. Great to be on that left side as a right-handed player. You have room to play that natural swinging hyzer. He'll be super happy with that position.
And well thrown for Joey, although he's still going to be maybe short of the corner. Might have to get real tricky with his angles.
Surprisingly conservative disc choice.
I agree.
It looked like just putter.
I think it was his Recco or Rico or however it's said.
This is a dangerous shot.
Yeah.
So if you put too much angle, you cut roll.
Yep, I think he's going to roll a little bit. Okay. Wow, Adam is playing this hole dangerously, but getting away with it. It hurts you to throw a shot under 60 feet on this hole when you're not on the putting green.
Yeah, he didn't go to the forehand. I expected a little kind of Annie pitch around.
Uh-huh.
What do you think for distance here? I would say probably
360.
At least.
Yeah, maybe more. Adam's going to walk away with a par here, and he just should not.
That was amazing.
That is just grinding the pars away. And, you know, he's even par through 6 now. Joseph would love to walk away with the 6, and it looks like he's going to do that. Oh, yeah.
Beautifully thrown. Got his father caddying for him.
Just like
Isaac, the same way.
Awesome. Oh, this is moving right.
Oh, that's some good fortune.
That is what you got to do to win a world championship. You got to throw 99% great shots, and you got to get that 1% of luck as well. Still a long par putt coming. Simon looks like he's dialed it in as well. Okay, just outside C1. Great
There's
scramble.
that line we're accustomed to seeing.
Still looks very calm. It's easy to maybe feel calm at this stage. We're not in the last round coming down the stretch, but got a good lead like he has right now. That's a good bogey for Joseph after the early struggles. And an insane par for Adam Hammes. Right side of the tree entirely. Second shot just careening out of bounds, kicks back in. Awesome. We'll check in here with Niklas Antala on hole 9, the par 5. The other 1,200-foot par 5 on the front 9. Somewhere in the 410-foot range to the pin.
Nice and flat.
Wow. And Niklas will shoot 3 under on the front 9. Obviously a player who has a lot of eyes on him going into this tournament. Such a versatile player. Can really mix his skills well on the open courses and the tightly wooded.
Looking at hole 7, par 5, 758. Really technical short par 5. Most players attacking this putter, 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 or something analogous to that. Some mid-ranges, little forehand, whatever you need. But you only need about 250 feet per shot. And if you can do that well, you have a very easy birdie waiting for you. It's when you get a little out of position and you have to go outside the game plan, you have to try to improvise a little bit, that this hole tends to bite people.
Isaac a little more conservative in today's drive. Doesn't turn the corner quite as much as he did in round 1. Great shot. It was a great shot round 1 as well.
Pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's all optional relief area. He probably won't need to take it. But if he's in those rocks and he doesn't like it, you can pull it back out of there.
The only reason he might is because it could be a better angle from a little bit farther back. But I think he'll just go standstill forehand. It's my guess. Maybe standstill backhand putter.
Maybe a little short, if anything, of the ideal zone. No, I think it's fine, actually. As we swing the camera around, this is pretty much perfect. A little bit awkward under the edge of this cedar for Simon.
But is able to manage a good swing and lands it right where you want to be.
I will say that I was hoping, and I'm sure Paul Macbeth was hoping when he designed this hole. Great shot.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Paul Macbeth also was hoping when he designed this hole that we would see more people trying to play for the second zone off the tee and bring eagle into play. It hasn't really worked out that way because of the way the trees have grown in and because maybe the ease of the birdie. But I still expected to see more people maybe going to a big forehand off the tee, big high turnover, rolling the dice a little bit more.
Not
Because
even
it's
a
possible.
Simon.
Yeah, that's kind of what made me think about it.
Very flippy approach shot from Simon. That was gorgeous.
Needs to swing left just a bit.
Just a bit. Okay, hangs in there.
Or hit a rock. Pushing that edge of the green, but perfectly safe. This will be blind.
Very comfortable shot for Adam, though. He likes these little turnovers with the zone. Oh, boy. No, he doesn't right now. That is a two-stroke mistake. And he's not going to have the disc that he wants to throw on the shot, so he's got to go with the backup zone. Shouldn't make a difference from this range. Actually, that's... Maybe it is a zone.
It looks like it to me.
Just when I thought that Adam was going to get on the board with the birdie here on 7, he's going to take his first bogey of the round.
Three birdies for the rest of the card. Checking in with Gannon Burr on the 8th.
I can't really hit that gap much better than that.
Swings over to the right a little bit. This gentle little flex shot up to the basket.
Man, great tee shot, great approach, still has work to do.
Wow, yeah. I love the green on this hole, just all the rock features. It's a pretty one.
Yeah, it is very pretty. Not a hole you want to airball your putt.
I'm still waiting to find that hole where I just am like stoked on that airball putt, you know?
Yeah.
Haven't run across it just yet.
Yeah.
But some are worse than others.
Yeah, this one might be worse than others. You're right. They all kind of stink.
It does. Yeah, it's just never really as fun as you think it's going to be when you imagine whiffing those chains flying by. You know, it always seems funny. Seems like a good little time, and
I've heard of it. An
usually
expression.
you end up not feeling great.
Every shot makes someone happy, Nate.
585 uphill most of the whole way. Very, very skinny gap. One tree kind of in the dead middle there.
Yeah, it really is.
As you swing it down the right side the whole way.
Jeez, my goodness.
Incredible shot. Point to point. I don't think that thing moved.
That's how he does it. That's Isaac Robinson for you. Simon, he's into making the disc move.
Making some people move also after
right.
that kick.
Joseph, man, misses his line and gets away with it. And once you get way up there to the left, there's actually a pretty open gap to the pin. I think he's going to be in a fantastic spot. There's that forehand power. You just see that thing just zipping past Isaac's drive. That is way up there. Probably in a similar spot to Gannon's, but maybe just a little bit longer.
feel like Adam and Jay Buck.
Oh,
no.
boy. Making the spectators move again is Simon.
This is going to be tough. I think he has potential to get to the basket with this flex line.
Wow.
Done
Okay. Yeah.
quite well.
Yeah,
oh, and look at it even. Oh, I thought it was rolling our way. I think it might have curled slightly away.
So Jay Buck.
What I was going to say is that I think Adam and Jay Buck are two of the most balanced players on tour between forehand and backhand, and their proficiency super high with both. Another guy I played with today who I'd put in that conversation, a Greg Barsby.
Yep.
Who you don't really know. You come to like a super tight tunnel hole, and they could do either one. Most guys trend one way or the other. I mean, I don't know who else maybe you think of when you're trying to think of.
It's funny you say that because during the round today, I mentioned that as Isaac throws his flex line, it's clean with a horrible backspin.
Yeah.
But I was explaining that same idea that I think Joey's one of the most seamless backhand, forehand players to Kyle Klein. And he kind of looked at me like, don't you think that I am too? And I was, yeah,
He
you
is.
are.
He for sure is.
You're one of those players, but I don't think when you think of Kyle, I think you think of him as a backhand predominant player. Whereas Joey, the way that he goes back and forth, I could say, yeah, he's a sidearm player or he's a backhand player. Adam off the mark, not liking the air ball on hole 8 either. And that's the reason you don't like the air balls on 8. Your putter is going to feel different next time you grab it. Isaac's putter is going to feel the exact same way it felt just a moment ago.
That was even zippier than most of what we've seen from him. I feel he's getting kind of slight drift, some left side catches perhaps. That one leaving nothing to chance.
Oh, you could see in the body English there from Adam, just stood up before the putt was released. Back-to-back bogeys. And after the drive and approach on the last 2 holes, the last thing you'd think that Adam would be taking is a bogey, but somehow he's snatched bogey out of the jaws of par. That's frustrating.
Gannonburr 1 hole ahead on 9. He's way up there in 2 shots. This might be only about 300, 320 to the basket.
Yeah, look how wide he's going on that third. It's going to be a birdie. Relatively slow round for him, though. Only 3 under on the front 9. Not a bad score. I would say this is, I don't know. I guess both 9s have some really tough holes. But I think this 9 is maybe a little tougher to score on.
I agree.
But only barely. Isaac, wow. 5-shot lead now over Luke Taylor. Just not making many mistakes. Only 1 bogey for the event so far. Unbelievable stuff.
I like this overhead view. Kind of shows you the tee pad just below our graphic there. You can see it in the gray out of bounds area. So you've got to make that little clearance. You'd like to stay, I think, to the right side of the fairway if possible, to avoid any interaction with the giant power pole or any of those little trees. So if he can keep this in the sun from here, I think that is the preferred landing spot.
Saw a lot of comments after round 1. Who brought their dog to the course? The dog wasn't on the course, folks. There's a neighborhood over to the right that you got to see in that flyover. The dog was in someone's backyard.
That sure would be bold to just have your dog on a leash. And you said, and I think your comment was like, good to see he's still at it hours later. Like,
Yeah.
you would have to be a pretty unshakable personality. Just be out there with your super loud dog and just continuing to hang.
But maybe they were talking about that guy that had the dog with the sunglasses. But that dog was chill.
Dog's cool.
That dog was
that
super.
Dog is real chill.
I mean, you saw his glasses.
Yeah. Simon does not like the idea of staying to the right very much. He's going to swing this across a bit.
And I like it. Forces the issue.
Yeah, actually, he throws it so far. I mean, it kind of still did stay a little right. It's beyond the problem trees, I think.
See if Adam is able to bounce back and get back on track here. Going the opposite direction. Now down to tied for 9th. Well, it's certainly birdieable from there still, but it's going to take a couple of big shots. Pretty wide, moving back towards the middle. There's one good shot. Still going to have probably 400 to 420 left from there. It's okay.
I agree. You'd love to get a little more turnover so that you're not at the bottom of that valley. Isaac doesn't have that luxury as he has to kind of dodge the trees right next to him. So he's going to be down near the bottom. That just makes that third shot much, much longer, and the footing is obviously not ideal going uphill.
Oh, boy. It's going to need some work.
You're kidding!
Oh.
Sorry. That was definitely going to be in bounds.
It was heading back in bounds.
Not a lot of places for those spectators to go.
I mean, it goes through the woods. You're not seeing it. It's coming in late. And also, Simon missed a shot.
I feel for him still.
Yes.
But I've seen much more egregious spectator disc interactions than that. I think they were in a tough position there.
And in general, I've got to give the spectators a rating of 98 for their all-time dodging of discs. They've generally been incredible.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a tough break for Simon. Hate to see it, obviously. That's going to cost him not only a stroke out of bounds, but a lot of distance. This is heading left. Really left.
Oh.
It bounces off the ledgestone sign and gets back in bounds. Wow, what a break. Best case scenario now, Simon throws a good shot and saves the par. Well, he's not thrown a good shot. And he's going to be pretty obstructed here with this tree. But he does save the par. Okay, I think all is right.
Awesome.
I feel like that's the score that he was destined to take.
It's good focus. Kept his head in it even through a frustrating situation, a bad shot. Perfect putt.
I mean, arguably that was the worst shot of the hole. The fourth shot was not good, leaving him outside 50 feet. But cans the putt. The great equalizer. That was beautiful. Beautiful putt from Joey.
So effective from out there.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like the more comfortable he gets playing on lead card, done it so many times this season. Oh, wow, look how close that is.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, the stakes are the official line. The rope's just there to show us. And they're just clarifying that indeed that string is straight and taut between the two stakes. And Adam unable to get his first birdie in the front nine. And in fact, he's going to have to work for the par. Isaac is just a well-oiled machine. Gets the 4 down on the front.
3 in a row right there.
Finishing the thought on Joey, as he gets more comfortable on lead card, I think the knock against him early this season was that, he just isn't making his putts. He's making his putts now. I don't think that the nerves are quite holding him back like they were early on.
Ooh, just over that post. Gannon Burr.
Leaves it just outside C1. A little bit more of the direct line that you'd expect to see from a Calvin type. Maybe one of the least surprising results I've ever seen. Calvin from 444 puts it to 15.
Great putt from Gannon. Slightly downhill. It's a short playing 444. We can agree on that, can't we?
Yeah, it's downhill. So
I think it plays like
a fairway
415.
That's fair. Yeah, I think
maybe somewhere in there.
Yeah, I think you can throw a fairway driver fairly firm. Although, I mean, we saw AB throw Luna there round one. So, but the lead is now 5. Calvin obviously plays an extra hole, a very birdieable hole. So Isaac is just doing what he needs to do.
Sullivan tipped an 8 under through 16.
Wow.
The current holder of that fire emoji, along with James Proctor, they might be on the same card. Wow, that is really good shooting to be 8 under to that point.
Incredible.
Not that 17 and 18 offers you that much opportunity for birdie, but if you're playing that well, maybe they can cash that in.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff right there. Well, 9 more holes here to go at New London, then 2 rounds over at Ivy Hill. So if you like the woods, prepare for the last 9 holes you're going to see at this World Championship coming right up.